want to get a guide if you're not familiar with the area. The biggest one in history. Interfere with the fixing process if you don't keep your voice down.
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go untreated.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one. All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple. I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune to its power.
She's always been special like that. She can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions. Just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out between us one day.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated
Mualani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago. All the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley line. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory. Nor our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long...
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribe. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was the chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 5 after your adventure in the Night Kingdom. I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wayab has...
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored with...
Well, we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the... That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final two heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might...
Huh? Oh, right! All the stuff you stored here before, where did...
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important
Fuel?
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more... Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their story?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never want...
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever, and then it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember the people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, we didn't lose any. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden War. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel...
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warrior. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life, even when they cause trouble. I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I faced in battle many times. My rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the... Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die.
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone. The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to...
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
How are you getting along? All done with your work?
All done.
How are you getting along? All done with your work?
All done.
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you?
All done.
Another test subject. Suffocate.
Ring cutter! No, my sword!
Suffocate.
Gotcha!
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered!
The wrong test subject.
Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom.
Ta, ta, game's up. Fun's over. Ta.
Can't run from death. Another test
everything.
subject.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. Huh?
Picked the wrong
Quietly now. Ta, ta, ta. Things are about to get dicey.
test subject.
Sharing my knowledge.
perish! There is no escape!
Rain cutter!
Another test subject.
Rain outlines your fate. Know my soul. Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
Shine down! Torn to oblivion!
Can't run from death.
Hey! Make yourselves at home!
Suffocate!
Illusion shattered!
I got carried.
Witness the power of Gugwa. Body and mind. Time to act. Take it easy.
The wrong test subject.
Gotcha.
I got careless.
Things are about to get dicey.
Now you shall perish! There is no escape!
Pay your dues.
Shine down!
Pay your dues. No escape.
Everyone hold hands! Yeah! The Temple of Wisdom! Help!
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Take it easy.
Another test subject.
There is no escape!
Witness the power of Gugwa. Game's up. Fun's over.
Everyone hold hands! Make yourselves at home!
Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion
Another test
I see everything!
Rain cutter. Know my soul.
Suffocate.
Gotcha. Here comes the catch.
to oblivion! There is no escape!
Run from death.
Everyone hold hands!
Let me weave you a verse. No, my sword! Huh?
Suffocate! Picked the wrong test subject.
Hey!
Pay your dues.
Sharing my knowledge!
Things are about to get dicey.
Now you shall perish!
Can't run from death.
I see
Another
everything!
test subject. Suffocate!
Shine down!
Witness the power of Gua. Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. Time to act. Busted.
Have a little taste. The wrong test subject.
Here comes the catch.
Pay your dues.
Yeah! The Temple of Wisdom! Grow, grow, grow!
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered!
No escape. You can't run from death.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. No, it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're...
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the Night King.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helped anyway. I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No way. Shaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get going. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing? In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault.